So this is what we're starting with. There's quite a bit of heavy corrosion on this wheel, oxidation and pitting, as you can see here, even inside. I've always wondered how to get the inside of these rims, the holes, cleaned out. I found a way to do that, which comes out pretty well. And you can see here the corrosion and pitting that we've got on this wheel. So my intention is not to get them perfect, especially on the parts of the rim that's sitting inside. But when I get to the final, this is going to be the outside wheel of the twin axle. So this is going to be cleaned up and that will look really good. No pitting on there when it's finished. But the inside rims, I want to get them cleaned up, looking good and polished. So to put back on, give it a little bit of polish and a wax to protect them again. And I'll show you what my finished product is. Anyway, hope it helps. Okay, on this wheel, the outside one, outside drive axle, I'm going to try something a little bit different to start with. I'm going to try this aluminum brightener, aluminium. There's an eye missing out of that. Aluminium brightener. Now, protective clothing required. I'm wearing the gloves. These are pretty good gloves, 9mm heavy. So I'm going to give this a soak, see what it comes out like. So it says to allow 20 to 30 seconds for it to absorb and start doing what it's going to do. Yeah, I know, not 20-30 seconds yet. They tried to get a bit impatient. We all march to the ticking of time, don't we? And it's unfortunate. Time controls everything. Anyway, here we go. Let's see what this does. Seems to be clean, okay. Stole the wife's scouring back from the kitchen. She's going to go, did you know what happened there? And I'm going to go, I don't know. It's been 30 seconds now, isn't it? Are you counting? I hope so. May have to give this a couple of goes. See what it does. I'm also the type of guy that, like most people, alright, I've started it, should be finished now, and okay, what's next? We'll see how that goes, shall we? Yeah, some of this outside stuff needs a bit more of a scrubbing, as they say. Oh, the arm's getting worn out already, and we're only done a third of it. And Ross tidbit for today: do it upwind, do it outside. The fumes of this stuff, although I can't smell them here because I'm outside and there's a little bit of a breeze blowing. It's pretty chilly, but the sun's out, which is nice. Can't complain. We're still green side up. You crazy. Crazy fool! As my daughter would say. He wasn't around alive at the time of the original BA Baracus in the 18. Baracus was it? In the 18. But she picked up on that saying, I don't know where from. Crazy fool! You know, this is not bad. I mean, I will admit sanding is a lot more labour intensive, but if you're retired, I'm not quite retired yet, a couple of months, and then I'm going to be retiring. What do you think about that then, eh? No more getting up to the drumbeat of the alarm clock as they say, get up when I want to get up. What I need to do, I've got this RV garage that I need to extend, get another hoist in the back of it for the cars, free up some of the space in the other garage for the cars, and get on with those projects. But while the winter's here, my goal was to get this coach done. I don't want to put the water on this just yet. I want this to keep doing its job. Don't worry, I'll let it down this video so it's shorter. Pick out the good bits. The crazy bits I'm not sure I will stay in. Could be. Depends how good they are. Am I crazy or just a little bit crazy, or stupid crazy? Not sure. But look at that. Looks good at the moment. Well, compared to what it was, it looks absolutely spiffing. What do you think of that? Spiffing, eh? Here's another word. So the only complaint I've got so far is it's probably about 34 out today. The ice is melting, it's about freezing. But with my hands with this fluid on them, they're getting a bit cold. Little fingers are getting cold. Not happy about that. No, absolutely not. Some of the things that come into your head, you know, you don't want to admit them, but where does that come from? The Spider-Man thing just come into my head. What on earth? Where would that come into my head? So this is the wheel with 20 minutes worth of elbow grease and 400 grit. So there's the 400 grit Hercules. Does that mean it's going to work really well? It's actually so much better than what I expected it to be. There's still pitting in it from the corrosion, and that's what I was saying to you. That's why the other wheel I ground down with a grinder, because it was just so corroded. But pretty pleased the way this has come up. I'm thinking about just putting a buffering wheel on it and see how that comes up. And then if it doesn't come up as I expect it to, I might put the 320 in the angle grinder and go over it with that, see if I can get some more of that pitching out. But here goes, let's put the buffer on it and see what it looks like. We're going to buff this up now. Yellow and orange pad, the brown brick. perfect metal polish, cleans, polishes and protects. Let's try this. Put it on. Get the residual polish off that the buffer leaves behind. In my case, it leaves behind. I see in other guys they don't seem to have that problem, but nevertheless, let's get that off. I'll go around afterwards and clean that, polish off the actual tyre. So, full disclosure, this is the second time I polished this rim. The first time I didn't have the technique on the buffer, and I was going buffer every which way you can imagine, and I wasn't happy with the lines that it had left. So I decided to go back and do it a second time. And get rid of all those lines, just take the buffer in one direction. So Rod's tidbit for the day: it does matter which way that you use a buffer on the rim, because it will leave lines behind. Okay, so this is a finished product. I'm happy with it. It was pretty corroded when we started. It's been cleaned with aluminum brightener. It's been rubbed down with 400 grit sandpaper. So 400 grit hand, and then it's been buffed with that Zephyr buffing kit, and then it's been polished with the polish that's in that kit. And I'm pretty happy with this. I'm very happy with it, to be honest with you, the way it's turned out. This is the inside rim. It's been protected. And I'll continue with the next one and show you how that comes out. See ya. So here we have the other side of that rim. This is the surface going to be on show. So I want it nicely polished, and I don't want a lot of those pitting that's in it. So what I'm going to do is, you can see there's a little bit of pitting down here. I want to see if I can get those out with a 180 grit pad in the grinder, and then buff it up with 400 by hand and then polish it. Now we're going to do it with the 400. I've taken the breathing mask off so I can talk. Don't need it for this. One thing I did notice, the pads that I have, the green one, which they say is a 180, has got no sandpaper in it. It's just a nylon scrubbing pad, the same as you get from the back of dish pads, things like that. It leaves less marks than the 180 or the 230 pad that's got the abrasive nylon pad, and it's intermixed with a 180 or a 230 grit sandpaper. It's that grit sandpaper that's leaving the marks. So when I used the 180, it's just the scrubbing pad and it leaves less marks. This one actually done better. It didn't cut as quick, but it doesn't leave as many lines in the wheel. So hence you don't have to rub it so much with a 400. had the 180 pad in the angle grinder to remove quite a lot of the pitting. It's not all gone, it's not perfect, but I don't want to sit here all day and do that. What we're going to do now, it's pretty good, as you can see. The rim's nice, had a bit of 400 over the top to just remove the oxidation and the lines that had been left behind by the 180. So now we're going to put the buffer on it. We're going to use the orange and yellow buffer, which is the harshest one that comes in that kit, and the brown polish. Drive wheel. This is the surface that's gonna be on the outside. Really pleased with that. Again, you follow through the video, you'll see what this was like when we started. And here's the inside of that room. Again, this was pretty bad when we started. I'm happy with it. It's clean, protected. Now I know the wheels look pretty good on the coach. Especially this one, that's come out absolutely stunning.